Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to the midday news here on Global Television. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Uyi Agmofwebe. President Bola Tinubu has called for strengthened cooperation with France in addressing the prevailing threat of terrorism in the country. He also commended the outgoing French ambassador to Nigeria, Emmanuel Blattman, for her dedication to enhancing relations between France and Nigeria. In a farewell meeting with Blattman in Abuja, Tinubu urged her to leverage her new role as Director for Africa to advocate the need to upgrade technical cooperation between Nigeria and France to defeat terrorism and violent extremism. Vice President Kashim Shettima has assured that the success and positive impact of the newly established National Philanthropic Office, NPO, is guaranteed under the Tinubu administration. He gave the assurance during the inauguration of the Local Implementation Committee of the office at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa in Abuja. The NPO, an all-private sector initiative with full support from the government, is part of efforts by the Tinubu administration to raise alternative funding for small and medium-sized enterprises as well as other vital economic programs through collaboration with the private sector. Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, the presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, in the 2023 presidential election, has said he did not reach an agreement with President Bola Tinubu or anyone else in relation to the outcome of the Supreme Court verdict on the Kano State governorship election tussle. Kwankwaso stated this while responding to the allegation that he had reached an agreement with President Bola Tinubu prior to the judgment. On Friday, the Supreme Court had affirmed the NNPC's Abba Yusuf as the duly elected governor of Kano State after a series of litigations. The federal government has backtracked on its decision to construct all federal roads using only rigid concrete pavement. Minister of Works David Umahi disclosed the policy reversal during the meeting with all contractors at the ministry's headquarters. This latest development comes several months after the minister directed all contractors handling federal government highways across the country to immediately dump the use of asphalts and adopt concrete technology. The announcement, which was met with stiff resistance from contractors, stalled the completion of several road projects. However, Umahi, meeting with all contractors in Abuja, being the third of its kind since the minister assumed office in August 2023, said government did not ban the use of asphalts, but was trying to cut down on its geometric pricing. The National Judicial Council, NJC, has clarified that no date has yet been fixed for the swearing-in of the newly appointed 11 justices of the Supreme Court. The council said that the purported news by an Abuja-based media organization suggesting Monday, January 16 for the inauguration of the justices did not emanate from it. A statement by the council's Director of Information, Soji Oye, clarified that neither the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olukayode Ariwola, who is the NJC chairman, nor the council itself authored or endorsed the purported date. While asking members of the public to disregard the news, the NJC says that the date for the swearing-in of the justices would be made public at the appropriate time. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, and the Nnamdi Azikiwe University have signed a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, to build a weather station at the university. This was according to a statement by NIMET's General Manager, Public Relations, Montari Ibrahim. The MOU was signed by Vice-Chancellor of UNIZIK, Charles Simone, on behalf of the institution's governing council, while the Director General of NIMET, Charles Anosike, signed on behalf of NIMET at their office headquarters in Abuja. Speaking at the signing ceremony, Anosike urged the management of Nnamdi Azikiwe University to take leadership in downscaling NIMET's annually released seasonal climate prediction to farmers and other users in Anambra and beyond. The Directorate of Road Transport Services of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, has commenced the demolition of shops, eateries, and other illegal structures in taxi ranks across Abuja. Director of the DRTIS, Abdulateef Bello, following a meeting with transport stakeholders hinted at the reclamation of all taxi ranks within the territory to make room for a unified mass transportation system across the FCT. Consequently, the department began the demolition of illegal structure at Area 3 and Banex Junction taxi ranks in Abuja on Friday. At the Area 3 taxi rank, the DTRS team, supported by security agencies, demolished a car wash, mechanic workshops, a cinema house, and eateries, among others, operating within the ranks. At the Banex Junction taxi rank, the taxis were not using the ranks as they had been taken over by miscreants who used the space to sell hard drugs, including adulterated fuel and diesel. Head of operations of the DRTS, Deborah Osho, who led the team, explained that the measure was to give room for more taxis to operate within the ranks. Suspended Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Betta Edu, may not return to office. The Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to President Bola Tinubu, Ajiru Ngelale, disclosed this in a statement that the action of the president was in line with his commitment to uphold what he described as the highest standards of integrity and accountability. It was gathered that it would be difficult for the embattled minister to return to office, adding that the alleged scandal in the ministry was more than what is before the public. Human rights activist and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has called on the Nigeria police to conduct proper investigation into the case of brutality against lawyers in Lagos State. Falana made the call during a peaceful protest organized by members of the Nigerian Bar Association NBA Lagos against the unlawful arrest and detention of a lawyer, Olumide Sonupe, by the police in Lagos. The lawyers, who are members of about 5 branches of the NBA, marched from its Ikeja secretariat while displaying banners to the command headquarters, where the State Commissioner of Police, Adegoke Fayode, addressed them. Watching the news here from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, where StarTimes Channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TVNG and other handles as you now see on your screen. When media news returns, the U.S. to foster bilateral ties with Nigeria. The news continues shortly with details of this and more for you right after this short break. Do stay with us, everyone. This is Global Television, bringing you a live broadcast of the media news with Uyi Agmofwebe. Let's go to the foreign scene now, where Italian Deputy Prime Minister Matteo Salvini has defended his hardline approach against illegal migration during a court appearance in Sicily. He is facing kidnap and dereliction of duty charges for preventing migrants from disembarking an NGO ship in 2019. He has denied the charges, saying he acted in the interest of national security. At the time, Salvini, leader of the right-wing League, was Interior Minister in the previous government. Ahead of his court appearance, Salvini said on X, formerly Twitter, that he was holding his head high, proud of what he did. The United Kingdom will provide £2.5 billion of military aid to Ukraine over the coming year, Rishi Sunak has said, Britain's largest annual commitment since Russia's invasion. The PM made the announcement during a rare visit to the country, where he will also sign a new agreement supporting its long-term security. Officials said the package will provide Ukraine with long-range missiles, air defense, and £100 million will be spent on drones, most of which will be UK-made. Officials said the military package for the next financial year, beginning in April, would result in the largest delivery of drones to Ukraine by any country. Significantly, the Prime Minister has decided not to make a financial commitment lasting several years. The United States Marine Corps has assured Nigeria of strengthening the bilateral cooperation between the two countries. Commander of the U.S. Africa Command, Michael Langley, and the command's senior enlisted leader to Nigeria, Michael Woods, during their recent visit to Nigeria, said the bilateral cooperation would counter violent extremism and support the latter in its fight against insecurity. In a statement, Langler said the mutual understanding and training between the United States and the Nigerian militaries were essential in addressing the evolving security landscape in West Africa and advancing common interests. In business, Dangote Petroleum Refinery has commenced production of diesel and aviation fuel. However, the refinery has yet to produce petroleum motor spirit, otherwise called petrol. Chief Branding and Communications Officer of Dangote Group, Anthony Chiejina, had late on Friday confirmed the commencement of operations. In a statement in the early hours of Saturday, the Dangote Group clarified that it has commenced production of diesel and aviation fuel. Minister of Industry, Trade and Investments, Doris Uzoka Anite, has underscored the federal government's commitment to bolstering the private sector as a key driver for job creation and economic development. The minister stated these at a strategic meeting with Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun as part of her tour to industries, where she emphasized the federal government's support for the state, highlighting the importance of gathering feedback to enhance nationwide industrialization. In his reaction, Governor Abiodun expressed his vision of leveraging the state's proximity to Lagos to foster a conducive environment for public-private partnerships, PPP. And now time to take a look at sports. Victor Osimhen will enjoy extra support from some Napoli fans who are in Côte d'Ivoire to give him maximum support at the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations, which kicks off on Saturday. Some fans of the Serie A champions have traced him to the Ivorian capital and were spotted at the Super Eagles campsite yesterday, exchanging pleasantries with Osimhen, who is expected to lead the line for the three-time African champions at the Continental Football Showpiece. Let's go beyond Africa now. Pep Guardiola has disclosed that Manchester City's injured striker Erling Haaland is expected to remain sidelined until the end of January. Haaland has been absent from the team for the past 8 games due to a foot injury suffered in early December, posing a significant challenge to City's quest for retaining the Premier League title. Initially hopeful for an early return in the year, Guardiola acknowledged that Haaland's recovery is more complicated than anticipated. The 23-year-old has yet to resume full training, raising concerns for City. And as our package here on Media News, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using our Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Uyag Mofwebe. Thank you so very specially for watching. I'll see you again.